So we're installing some BMC air filters, and this is what happens when you invite friends over and give them coffee and beer. When they're gearheads, they don't even make you work. I literally just touched one jacks, and they're doing the rest. They're going nuts. So to access the air boxes, you got to remove a couple of parts first, splitter, the side things. To access the 40 or 50 somewhat, bolts that are underneath. So Jag, it's a beautiful design, but they really went overkill when it comes to number of bolts on the underbody. And here we go. These are the BMC filters. Nice product. Very little excess oil. I took a Scott towel and just kind of tried to remove any excess oil, but there was almost none. So it's a nice product, and yeah, this should all be done in about an hour max. Let's see if we could see what's going on underneath there. How's it going, guys?
A lot of screws.
A lot of screws, right. So the airbox should be roughly between the front wheel and the center of the car. And then there's about 7 or 8 screws on the airbox. Drop the bottom half of the airbox down, and then put everything back together. And who knows, maybe add a couple horsepower. But I'm looking more for some intake noise than actual gains. I don't really believe in aftermarket air filters. I feel that the OEM filters are probably really well engineered and getting as much power as they can. It's hard to do any dyno proven gains when you're talking maybe 5, 6, 7 horsepower. And unfortunately, aftermarket intakes for the F-Type are very few. I only believe of maybe one complete system, and that would be the Venturi intake. But I'm not looking to spend $2,000 for an intake on this car. I don't think that you're getting your money's worth. Not to say that it's a bad product. It's a beautiful carbon fiber intake, and my hat off to them to producing such a beautiful intake. But I just don't think that the gains are worth the $2,000 plus to purchase. So I'll get you an update when we have the actual airbox down and we're putting in the filters. So about 8 bolts there, another 12 there, and another 20 there. So a lot of bolts to hold that, and the little side fins in. Lot of bolts. Pretty ridiculous. And let's go take a peek underneath as to what's going on, because these guys aren't going to let me do any actual work. See what I was telling you, Sylvain? There's a heat exchanger underneath the car. So it's the perfect place for hitting a speed bump and destroying. I mean, I'll never hit a speed bump or do anything stupid like that, but somebody who doesn't know how to drive, they're going to smash this, and it's not going to be a pretty thing. So everything is integrated. It's a really nice design, actually. It looks quite efficient. So air goes in through the front here, cools the supercharger, then I guess the radiator is right here. So you have everything in one little enclosure. Supercharger cooling, motor cooling, and intake duct that then goes to your airbox. So the next step is to remove that little clamp, take down the box, put in the BMC filters. We'll do a little comparison between the OEM design and the BMC design, and see if theoretically it will allow more air to pass through into the intake, into the supercharger. Okay, so we got the air box out. I'm gonna have to clean them up because, believe it or not, dirt and grass got in. So this is the filter. That's a big difference.
Yep.
I wouldn't, well,
Restriction-wise,
Yeah.
it's all the difference in the world.
I think so. I think so. If you look at, just look at the fin there. Look at how many fins you've got in there. It's twice the filter thickness. It should help.
It's beautiful.
Man, and BMCs are really solid. It's a rigid frame. This is very flexible, much more flimsy. BMC,
That's what I put
nice
in my
quality. That's what's in your C63?
Yeah, but the dry ones, yeah. But
The
same
dry
brand,
ones.
same brand.
Yeah. Well, these are pretty dry. They're oiled, but there was no
Light.
excess. There was not much excess oil, and I wiped it off. That's gonna drop in there. So where's your left hand? Where's your right hand?
Right here.
Okay, let me
tight,
clean.
pretty tight, look at
Perfect. Perfect. Let me clean the box first.
Yeah, pretty tight fit.
Beautiful. And we'll get a look as to. So that is the gap, and there's your intake. There's your mass airflow sensor. So pretty simple, guys. Took about what 30 minutes to get everything apart, and it'll take it'll go much faster to put everything back together because
3 minutes
obviously
without power tools.
without power tools, which yeah, I'm an idiot. The I didn't think to charge the batteries on my small drill, which that was pretty stupid. All right, guys, we'll get all this in, and then we'll do some little bit of revving with the bonnet open and see if we could hear a difference. It was very silent before. You'd hear the supercharger, you know, past 5,000 RPM. Obviously, I have no engine cover, etc. But hopefully this helps. So, guys, in great British form, we were underneath the car, and before putting everything together, there's a little O2 intermittent delay problem. Anyways, there was a loose connection. Most likely that's what was causing it. And we found this beautiful elastic band around the, let's say the shifter connection to the transmission. I don't know what you want to call that. But yeah, somebody left this nice elastic band that's completely cooked now around the transmission. So whoever was having his beer on a Friday afternoon should have removed his elastic band before delivering the F-Type R. Are we gonna hear any intake noise? Yeah, the exhaust is too loud to hear anything. Not gonna hear anything. Unfortunately, or fortunately,